and I'll just do it in short. Om Ajnanatimirantasya Jnananjana Sharakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Mukham karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripatam hamande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Okay. Did I log out? Am I there?
Yes. Yes, Prabhuji, we can see you.
Yes, Prabhuji, we can see you.
Different screen popped up. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much everyone for joining. So we could see less people, maybe because it is Sunday or don't know. Okay, so we will just see whoever is available. Okay, nice. I think today some of them are attending the session in the temple that we have offline session about Yatra realization. Sriharsh Vaidya Prabhu was taking the class, so maybe because of that also some people couldn't join. Okay, so how many of you remember the Kevalashtakam? Or at least that we are discussing about it, or anything anyone remember or would like to share? What did you learn from Kevalashtakam? Hare Krishna. Okay, at least how many verses we done?
5 verses, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
5.
Okay. So anyone would like to say anything they remember from all those 5 verses? Any 1 or 2 points?
Hare Nama Eva Kevalam Kalo Nasteva Katir Anyata, Prabhuji. That is a summary of the 5 verses. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Anyone else?
We may be unqualified to reach Krishna, but never disqualified.
Hari Bol. That's nice. Yes. Anyone else?
Lord Shri Krishna resides wherever his devotees are chanting the Hari Nam, Prabhuji. That's the last verse. Hare Krishna. Hari
Sada Vasai Tatra Yatra Bhagavata Janaha Gayanti Bhakti Bhavena. What's the last line? Come on, you don't remember the last line also? What is the last?
Hare Nam. Prabhuji, you give surprise test that we forget sometimes the basics also. Hare Krishna.
While listening, you listen very nicely. You appreciate the class. So when I ask questions, if no one reverts, then I feel like, okay. So that was only a short time memory. Okay, I want someone else to say something at least. It's been how much? Only 10 or 15 days. That's been the last class. Okay, at least one person. Okay, I'll say. Okay, Geeta Mataji, tell me, what did you remember from Kevalashtakam?
It's only Hari we have to remember in every step of our life.
Okay.
It is one part of any activity. I'm not.
Okay, fine. So Naresh Prabhu, you tell me.
Kevalashtakam, I'm telling.
Yeah,
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. By chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we will get rid of all our sins, past life, present life. From that, we will be liberated from birth and death. Okay. Which verse says this out of 5? 1. Yeah. What is the line? Pavanam Pavanebhyopi. Yeah.
It purifies.
Yes,
right. Thank you, Prabhu. Yes, Kritika Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hey Krishna Prabhuji, the
Yeah.
person who is a true preceptor or a parent or father or mother or a true guru only when he teach one to always remember Harinam. Verse 3
Harinam.
Prabhuji.
Yeah,
Krishna.
Saguru Sapita Chapi Samata Bandhavopi Saha Shukshayachet Sada Smartum Hare Nameva Kevalam.
Verse
So,
4 is death can come at any time, Prabhuji, but we should not get paranoid or scared about that. But we should use it effectively in chanting the Harinam. Prabhuji. Hare
yeah,
Krishna.
Tanupriya Mataji shared that the most sweetest, the only person whom we can have permanent relation, Kali Kale Namarupe, Krishna Avatara. Okay, good enough. Thank you so much, everyone. So this actually reaffirms that the classes are working. If you don't remember, then how you will implement, isn't it? And if you don't implement, how you will transform, isn't it? So that is why you have to refresh these things, because in general we speak about a lot of things, but if you want to awaken a specific memory, then these verses will help you. So Shikshashtakam, Kevalashtakam, Shadvida Sharanagati, or some of the verses from the Bhagavad Gita and all, they are like potent capsules. Just like when we click an icon, the file opens. So similarly, this verse, when you click on this verse, then that content of that verse should reveal to you. That's how you'll be able to implement it very easily. So today we will take the 6th verse. Before that, we will sing the Kevalashtakam, and then we'll go to the verse number 6. Shall we go ahead? Are you all excited, or you felt like
No, very.
No, excited, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Okay, so what we will do is we will chant 3 times Hare Krishna Mahamantra to increase the level of our consciousness. Shall we do that?
Sure, Prabhuji. Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
Prabhu.
Okay. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Hare Hare.
Krishna,
Shri Krishna.
Hare Hare, Hare.
मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयति गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरम्। मधुरं मधुरेभ्योऽपि मङ्गलेभ्योऽपि मङ्गलम् पावनं पावनेभ्योऽपि हरेर्नामेव केवलम् हरेर्नामेव केवलम् आब्रह्मस्तम्भपर्यन्तम् सर्वमायामयं जगत् सत्यं सत्यं पुनः सत्यं हरेर्नामेव केवलम् हरेर्नामेव केवलम् सगुरु सपिता चापि समता बन्धवोऽपि सह शिक्षये चेत् सदा स्मर्तुम् हरेर्नामेव केवलम् हरेर्नामेव केवलम् निश्वासे नहि विश्वासः कदा रुद्धो भविष्यति कीर्तनीयमतो बाण्यात् हरेर्नामेव केवलम् हरेर्नामेव केवलम् हरे सदा वसेत् तत्र Yatra Bhagavata Janaha Gayanti Bhakti Bhavena Harer Nameva Kevalam Harer Nameva Kevalam Aho Dukham Mahadukham Dukha Dukhataram Yataha Kachatham Vismritam Ratna Harer Nameva Kevalam Harer Nameva Kevalam Diyatam diyatam karno Niyatam niyatam vachaha Giyatam giyatam nityam Hare nameva kevalam Hare nameva kevalam Trini kritya jagat sarvam Rajate sakalopare Chidanandamayam shuddham Hare nameva kevalam Hare nameva kevalam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Aho Dukkham Mahadukham Dukkha Dukkhataram Yataha Kachartham Vismritam Ratna Hare Namaiva Kevalam. So the translation says that Aho, what a sorrow, what a great sorrow, more painful than any other misery in the world, mistaking it as a mere piece of glass. The people have forgotten this jewel. The holy name of Sri Hari alone is everything. So in this verse, it talks about the superlatives like best, better, good, better, and best. So aho dukkham, maha dukkham, dukkha dukkhataram dukkham. So it is like it is miserable, it is tragedy, and it is like a catastrophe that somebody mistakes the jewel of holy name as an ordinary sound vibration. So all of us have different conceptions of fortune based on our interest, inclinations, and whatever background we have. So for some of us, maybe having wealth is a great fortune. For some of us, maybe having knowledge is a fortune. And for some of us, maybe having beauty is like fortune. So if someone is very beautiful, we will say, Kismat wale hai wo, right? So they have a very beautiful features and all. If somebody is strong and healthy, then they may say like, you are very fortunate that you have a good health, good, strong physical build and all. And for some people, like, if I have money, then I can do anything. So those who have money, they are very fortunate. And some people will say like, what is there in money? If you have a real knowledge, then that is your great wealth. So we all have different conceptions about what is fortune. Similarly, we have our own conceptions about what is misfortune. If someone is a great surgeon, then losing hands in an accident or in some or other way, then he feels that it is a great misfortune. But because for a surgeon, his hands are important. If someone is a singer, if something happens to his throat, then he feels like it is the greatest misfortune that I have lost my voice. If someone is like a guitarist, then if something happens to his fingers, okay, he will feel like it's a great misfortune. If somebody who is like having a great relationship, who is finding fulfillment in that relationships, and if that person passes away, then he will feel like the greatest misfortune I have, that the most loving person that I have ever had in my life is actually gone away. So this is a great misfortune. So we all have our own conceptions of what is fortune and what is misfortune. So what is valuable for one person may not be valuable for another person. Just like all of you, how many people are there? Now around 20 people are attending this session. And for all of you, this is a valuable session. But all those who are not attending, maybe something is more valuable for them. Or at least those who are never attended these kind of classes or never have any inclination for this Bhagavad Gita classes and all, for them, they do not have any value for this. So they think, it's a weekend, so we have to enjoy. That is actually fortune. So we all have our own conceptions. And if someone is very expert in something, let us say someone want to become a singer, then what all facilities or the resources that he can get to become a great singer, then he feels having those as a great fortune. If someone wants to become a great surgeon, then if he can get a good seat in a college, good lecturers, good books, and good kind of internship and the seniors guidance and all, then he will feel like that's a fortunate thing. So we all have our own conceptions about what is the treasure of our life, what is the fortune, right? So similarly, we have a contrast between what is material progress and spiritual progress. So based on our conceptions, we will decide whether we are progressing in life or not. If someone who has a conception like, having wealth is fortune, then he will consider whether his life is growing or not based on how much money he's making, right? If someone's conception is like, knowledge is the fortune, then how much more he knows, how much more he can grab. Based on that, he will say like, whether I'm advancing in life or not. So we all have our conceptions about progress also. But broadly, if we divide material progress and spiritual progress, then material progress means to have what we want. Oh, I wanted to have a big car. I wanted to have a big house. I wanted to have a good salary, good job, good business and all. So if I have it, then I'm fortunate. So I'm progressing in my life. So material life always talks about what you don't have. And if you have what you want, then you are successful. Then you are growing in life. But spiritual progress is exactly reverse. So spiritual progress is not about having what we want, but actually wanting what we already have. So I'll just repeat, spiritual progress is not about that wanting what we don't have, but actually wanting what we have. So we have Krishna with us. We have the holy name. We have the devotees association. We have the books. We have the time. We have the knowledge to go through them. We have the capacity to understand them. So we have to appreciate more and more. So when we go in front of the deities, okay, so what we do when we go in front of the deities, we do Dandavat Pranam. Okay. So doing that obeisances is a concept of the pure devotees. The pure devotees, they have so much love for Krishna that when they come in front of the deities, what will happen? They actually faint and they fall down. So because we are not pure devotees, we don't have so much love for Krishna, so we cannot faint. So at least fall. So by falling down, what we are doing? We are trying to develop love for Krishna. So we might actually get a doubt, like, is there anything that the pure devotees are chanting something different, that because of that their devotion is increasing, and I'm chanting this Hare Krishna mantra and I'm still struggling? So is there any other mantra they are chanting, because of that they are advancing and I am not advancing? So actually, the pure devotees and us are chanting the same Hare Krishna mantra. But why they are advancing, why they can relish and why they can have that taste and that reverence and that devotion and that love towards Krishna? Because they appreciate it more and more. So the same mantra, if the more and more we appreciate, then what will happen? The more and more Krishna will reciprocate with us. Today, when we chant, what is our thought? Okay, I am chanting because I have to chant. But the pure devotees are chanting because they love to chant. So the consciousness is different. So with what consciousness we are chanting, based on that our appreciation will be there, and based on that our reciprocation will be there with Krishna. So this reciprocation and this appreciation will not increase blindly or will not increase just like that. It has to have a philosophical education, and it also has to have the spiritual purification. So just like when someone is a child, okay, Now a child, let us say he's playing with a diamond. Okay. So that person, if he's playing with a diamond and if someone sees it, then they'll get a heart attack. Like, how come, who the hell has given this valuable diamond in this child's hand? So what we will do, we'll actually take away from that child's hand and we will say like, it is very valuable, you should not play with them. So when that child is there, he's very small and his intelligence is very small, his consciousness is very low, so he cannot appreciate the value of diamond. But what he has to do, what we have to do to make him appreciate the value of this diamond, we have to tell him, right? We have to tell him that, this is very valuable. But just by telling, he will not understand. What he has to do, he has to grow up, then only he will understand the value. So similarly, the holy name is with us. So the scriptures say that, this is amazing, this is Madhuram Madhurebhyopi, Pavanam Pavanebhyopi, Mangalam Mangalebhyopi. Holy name can destroy so many things. Holy name can give us the Krishna Prema. So many things are being told, but that is philosophical education. But what we need more is spiritual purification also. So we have to grow up in our spiritual life. How we can grow up? By regulating our life, by doing everyday sadhana. So just like a child has to be told about the value of the diamond, and at the same time, he also has to grow to appreciate that. Similarly, to appreciate the holy name, we have to be told about the holy name. And similarly, at the same time, we have to grow in our spiritual life by purifying ourselves, by following the regulative principles, by chanting every day, by listening about it, by doing some service and all. So we have to be told and we have to grow up. Then only we'll be able to appreciate. So when we talk about this context of dukkha, dukkataram yata, that is a superlative. So we can see like, we can take this example. Suppose somebody is a very poor person and he's starving, he don't have food to eat, then we can say it is a sad position. But imagine even more, what is tragic is that there is a wealthy person and he has done some, some gambling and all, he lost all the money, and because of that he's starving. Then it is even more tragic, because if a poor person from his birth he's poor, so he doesn't have money to eat, then it is a sad condition. But someone who has a great wealth and he lost it and now he is starving, then it is more tragic. But what is even more tragic is that, let us say, sometimes parents give us the wealth to their children. Okay. And they will say like, this property is kept on your name and this is the money there and all. And for suppose the child forgets that, let us imagine that parents have told, this is the box and in that we have kept a lot of money, the diamond jewelry and all the bond papers and all our properties and all, so you can use it. And over a period of time, the child forgot. He has grown up and he has forgot that their parents have kept something and he's still starving. Then it is more unfortunate thing, because he has the wealth, but still he is starving. So this is our condition. So we have the holy name, we have the opportunity to have the fulfillment of the heart, we have the opportunity of having association of devotees, association of the books, and all the other things which can actually give us the real happiness. We still have it. Okay. It is not something like only rich people can buy the holy name. We all have that holy name. It is not that only rich people can come into the association of devotees. We all have association of devotees, but still we are not utilizing it. So this is what happens in our life. So kachartham vismrutam ratna. So we start searching for happiness somewhere else. So Krishna is already with us. We have the opportunity to connect with Krishna by chanting, reading, hearing. We have already experienced the joy, peace in taking Krishna's shelter. Like all of us, some or other way, some or other time, have experienced Krishna's love. Sometimes when we are hearing the class, or sometimes when we are attending a kirtan, sometimes we are in a yatra, we have experienced that, yeah, Krishna is there, Krishna's love is there, and that love is very soothing to our heart. It can actually quench the thirst that our heart has. So it has the potency. We all have experienced for a few moments at least. But after that also, if we are not serious, if we are not becoming more and more sincere to increase our experience, then it is a more unfortunate thing. So today we see that, the so much of spiritual fulfillment is available, but still we look somewhere else outside for the happiness. Now our journey is like, we are always looking for happiness in the material things, And now someone has told, do not look for happiness in the material things. Look towards Krishna. Start serving Krishna, you'll have the fulfillment. But this is a journey. Even while we are trying to look at Krishna for the happiness, there will be, because of our past impressions and all, we go back and try to find happiness in the material things. So this is like, a very, very pathetic condition, that the diamond is there, still there, but we are mistaking that it is not the diamond. It is just a piece of glass, and we are looking for a diamond somewhere else. Now, because of this, what will happen? We become most unfortunate people. So if we don't listen about the glories of the holy name, then our mind by default starts devaluing chanting. Okay. So, if you don't hear about something every day, then automatically the value will go down. So this is the nature of our mind. No matter how much great thing will come into our life, over a period of time, we start devaluing them. You know, in a general example, we see sometimes we love someone and we want to get married to them, and we fight big wars to get married to that person. And once we get married, over a period of time, some or other way, we lose that same value which we have. There can be different reasons. The person may not behave in the same way, the situations may not be same, whatever may be the reason. But what we fight for and what we thought it is the greatest of value, over a period of time, that keeps losing the value. Many days ago, we wanted to have an iPhone or something very amazing gadget which we dreamt of, and that comes into our life. For first few days, we just keep it very clean and we keep it very safely. And after that, after few months, where we are keeping our phone, in what condition it is, it actually doesn't matter much. So our mind can devalue the things. Similarly, our mind can devalue the glory of the holy name also. So that is why we have to keep on hearing the glories of holy name. Otherwise, what will happen? We will get a feeling, oh, today 16 rounds are complete. Tomorrow again, I have to chant for 2 more hours. So if someone is carrying 20 kgs, okay, and he is thinking, oh, I have to carry 20 kgs, then it will be not 20 kgs. It will be 20 kgs plus your own frustration and resentment. But imagine if someone told you that you have to carry 20 kgs gold, and whatever extra you carry, that will be yours. Then we'll be more excited to carry more gold, isn't it? So what happens is, when we don't appreciate the holy name, this 2 hours feels like it is like exhausting, right? It is like very painful. But if we know the value of chanting the holy name, then what will happen? We wanted to chant more and more. Once a devotee asked to Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada, what will I get by chanting? Then Prabhupada said, you will get more chanting. So that means the more we chant, the gift of chanting is like you will get taste in chanting and you want to chant more and more, right? So it is like if something, extra we are carrying the gold, and that gold gonna come into our account, then we want to carry more and more. Though it is a burden, though it is like, very heavy, we still wanted to carry because we know that it is gold. So similarly, why we are not carrying the holy name? Because we don't value it, we don't appreciate it more and more. So when we appreciate what we are carrying, the weight doesn't feel like weight. It will become very light. That is why sometimes, when we love someone, we are ready to do so many sacrifices, and those sacrifices doesn't look like sacrifice. We feel like it is worth to have that person in my life, I can do like this. So the sacrifices doesn't feel like sacrifices. But if someone is there in our life, we don't love them, but still we have to do so many sacrifices for that person, then every sacrifice actually hurts us. I don't want to do this for this person, but I had to do this. So every small sacrifice also becomes a great burden for us. So chanting rounds, the number of rounds that we do, it is not, sometimes some people say like, if you are really devoted, then why you have to keep a count like, 16 round like that, and why have to count? So why cannot you just count? So actually the counting the number of rounds is very important for us. Okay, that actually makes us improve our quality of chanting. If we do not commit that I will do this many rounds, then there can never be any quality improvement. Because if we are doing it without any commitment, without any proper number, okay, then what will happen? We cannot have a proper track. Our mind, even after keeping some commitment, it still wanders. Now imagine if we do not have a commitment, or if we do not have a proper number, proper goal, then our mind will wander more and more. So actually we all waste our time. Okay. But Maya is actually so clever that when we are wasting our time, we don't feel like we are wasting our time. We feel that, this is an important activity and this is necessary like that. Okay. So we don't waste our time consciously. We waste our time unconsciously. So, but when we are chanting, that time our mind will say, you have so many other important things to do. Chanting is not so important and all. So Maya Devi will not actually attack us directly. It will not say like, give up chanting and do sense gratification. It will not come directly. It will come in a very subtle way. It will say like, okay, chanting is very important, I can also understand, but the other important things are also there, so you have to do that first, then only you can have chanting also. So Krishna should be the number one priority. Okay. But what our mind makes us, it will make Krishna as number two priority initially, and then slowly number three, number four, and then Krishna will become number 10. And over a period of time, Krishna will not be there in the priority list. This is how the gradual fall down will happen. So why this is happening, or why this will happen? Because we don't feed our consciousness every day with the glories of holy name. Okay. It is not that one day we are having the class and we are talking about Kevalashtakam or Sriharsh or chanting about the glories of the holy name, and every day it will work. No, every day some or other way we have to listen about the holy name. Otherwise, it is very difficult to appreciate the chanting. When it will become the burden, we cannot say. One day, because of we heard about the holy name, we are in the devotees association, it feels very light to chant. But next day, when that association is not there, when we don't remember the glories of the holy name, it will become a burden. So that is why every day, at least sometime, we have to hear about the holy name. We can hear about different aspects of the bhakti, different aspects of association, etc., shastras and all. But particularly about holy name also, we should actually hear about it. So because of this, what will happen is, now when we are chanting, we have to focus on the sound vibration. When we say Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we have to remember and we have to focus on the sound vibration. But that point of concentration we cannot have right away. So that will come gradually. But before we have our focus, or we have before we have the point of concentration, we should at least try to develop the circle of concentration, right? Just like when we hear about the glories of holy name, we may not be able to focus on the sound vibration, but at least we can think about the glories of the holy name. Okay, I don't know as of now whether the holy name is really works or not, really sweet or not, but the Shastra said that. What they said, it is Madhuram Madhure Byopi, and it can actually deliver me from this material world. So though I cannot experience that immediately, but I still have faith in them. So I'll try to remember those things. So what we are doing is, we are having a circle of concentration. That means our mind is still wandering, but it is wandering in that same circumference of holy name. So when we hear about the glories of holy name, our mind may wander, but it will have a circumference. Just like sometimes, the children wanted to play. Okay, they wanted to go out. So we'll not say like, okay, go out and do whatever you want to do. We will take them to some park which has all the boundaries, and we will say like, okay, now you play. And we are watching them, okay, where they are going and all. And they are not going out of that one circumference. So similarly, our mind, if we say that, you have to stick, you have to sit here, you have to focus on the sound vibration, then it won't. But what we can do, we can give a one circle of concentration where it can think about Krishna in that way. And that will happen when we hear every day about the glories of the holy name. So why we have to do this? Because we don't want Krishna to feel unwanted. Okay. So if we are chanting the holy name, and if we are not focusing on Krishna or anything related to Krishna, then what we are expressing is that Krishna, you are unwanted. So for example, you are meeting one person, okay, and within that meeting for the next 15 minutes, that person has given so many expressions and he has given so many indications that he don't want to meet you, he don't want to spend time with you. Then simply you will say, bro, if you are not interested, then why you are spending time with me? You can go and do anything else. Why you have to forcefully come and spend time with me, right? So similarly, if we are chanting the holy name, And if we are thinking somewhere else and we are feeling exhausted and we are feeling like, why I have taken up this chanting and why I have to chant and all, we are in a very negative mode. Then what we are doing? We are telling Krishna that I don't want you to manifest, right? So similarly, when we don't give enough attention to the person we are meeting, that person will get hurt and that the person will feel unwanted. Similarly, when we are chanting and when we are making all these indications, all the symptoms, then we are telling Krishna that you are unwanted. So when Krishna gets an indication that he is unwanted, then what will happen? He will not manifest. Okay. So our mood should be, Krishna, I'm not able to have love for you, but I want to have love for you. I'm not able to, immerse my consciousness into you, but still I want to do it. So we may not have the absorption, but we can have the desire for absorption. And through that, Krishna will start manifesting. But if we do not have that desire, then what will happen? Krishna will not manifest. And the more Krishna will not manifest, the more chanting will become burden. So the chanting will become wonderful only when we hear about it and when we contemplate on that. And every day we put a strong effort, a strong desire that we want Krishna to manifest. So what will happen if Krishna manifests? Then we will get the highest pleasure. So in the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said that Munayah sadhu prushtoham bhavadbhir loka mangalam yatkritah Krishna samsprashno yenatma suprasidati. There is another verse which says that Savai pumsan paro dharmo yato bhaktir adhokshaje ahaituki apratihata yayatma suprasidati. So the highest content of the heart that will come only, or the highest satisfaction will come only when we do unmotivated and uninterrupted bhakti towards Krishna. And anything related to Krishna will actually bring happiness. So when the different sages ask the question to Suta Goswami, then they will say like, you have asked wonderful questions, and through these answers, what will happen? The whole humanity will actually get the benefit. So anything related to Krishna is like very, very satisfying, right? Though because we are into a material consciousness, subjects about Krishna will actually not give us so much of satisfaction because we are looking at from the mental or intellectual perspective. But when we look from the perspective of our heart, then actually we will get the satisfaction. So when we are chanting, we may not feel the satisfaction, we may not feel the joy and pleasure initially because the Krishna is not has enough penetrated in our heart. It is still on a mental level and intellectual level. So Krishna, when he manifests, we cannot experience him through our mind or through our intellect, okay, through our senses, because he is supremely transcendental and we are having everything material. Our senses are material, our mind is material, our intellect is material. So what happens? We cannot catch Krishna's experience. There is another verse which says, Ataha Shri Krishna Namadi na bhavet grahyet indriyaiha sevon mukhe hi jihvadav swayam eva spuratyadaha. So Ataha Shri Krishna Namadi. So Krishna Nama, you cannot catch. Okay, it's like, if you have a thermometer, okay, you can check the temperature, okay, but if you have a thermometer you cannot check the viscosity because that is a different instrument that needs a different instrument to check. So similarly, Krishna is spiritual and we are material body. So what will happen? A material thing cannot experience something spiritual. So though we do not experience Krishna's love and joy as of now because we are so much caught in our mind and intellect, but still the effect is happening at the spiritual level. So our Acharya says that, just like a watchman will be there. So that watchman, the night watchman, okay. So while he is doing duty, he may be thinking about his wife, he may be thinking about his family, he may be thinking about something else. But as long as he is awake, okay, he will get paid. So similarly, as long as we are chanting, the effect will be there. Whether we can experience that effect or not, that we will come to know later. But on the spiritual level, the effect is happening. That is why, 6 months back or 1 year back, those things which were troubling us, now they are not troubling us so much. Okay, we are not having so much of anxiety which we used to have 1 year or 2 years back. It is not there. So we may not have taste in the holy name as of now, but still by seeing the symptoms that we are not as anxious as we were a few years back, that actually gives us the symptom that chanting is working. So when we are hearing about the glories of the holy name, when we introspect and looking back of how what effects it is showing, then what will happen? Gradually our appreciation for the holy name will increase. If this is not happening, if you're not doing it, then what will happen? The same holy name, we start devaluing it. And over a period of time, we will say like, okay, this may not be not for me. Bhakti is not my cup of tea. So that kind of feeling also may come. Many people, because of some or other issue, they give up chanting, right? Why? Because they could not consciously put effort and they could not endeavor enough to reach to a threshold where they can experience it, the work, the worth of the holy name, the workability of the holy name. Because we are living a material life from many billions of lifetimes, and suddenly if we want an experience and the evidence that this works, that won't come immediately. So we have to endeavor for some time, then only it will come. So before we do that enough endeavor, we need some inspiration to do that endeavor. And how we will get that inspiration? By hearing the glories of the holy name. Okay, I don't know whether it works or not, but they are saying it works. And we are seeing the devotees also, the pure devotees and all, they constantly chant and they are glorifying that, like Srila Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, they gave up all their luxuries, they gave up everything, and they have taken the shelter of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and they were living like a mendicants, though they were like prime minister and finance minister. So there must be something which is more valuable. That is the reason they are able to give up whatever they have. So I may not be able to appreciate right now. I may not be able to realize that right now. But I know that these people are very intelligent people. If they have given up and they are continuing it, that means it is really valuable. So unless I realize that value, I will endeavor. So glorification of the holy name happens and we have to hear so that we can get the enough strength to continue our efforts. Otherwise, what will happen? It will not be very inspiring to get up every day and chant, because we as humans, we want something profit. If we are doing something, we need some profit. Otherwise, we won't do it, right? बिना फायदे का हम कुछ करते ही नहीं है, right? So, but भक्ति में फायदा दिखने के लिए time लगता है, right? Because it is a great gift. It is not some small thing. Just like I sometimes use an example, if someone want to buy a Ferrari car, which is like 3 crores, 4 crores cost, how much time it will take? If I ask you this question, all of us, like we are from some upper or middle class families. So if I ask you the question, to buy a car worth of 4 crores, how much time it will take? How many years?
20 years, Prabhu.
20 years.
25 years, Prabhuji.
25 years. Okay.
Even
Any
whole
other?
house will not be able to buy. Not
Whole
only
life you are not able to buy. Okay.
Not sure,
Fine.
Prabhuji.
Not sure. Okay. So I'll ask another question. If you want to buy a villa of, let us say, 5 crores worth, what do you think? If you start earning from today, how many years it will take to earn or to buy that
Possible,
house?
Prabhuji. Not possible.
Then you ultimately
Hare Krishna.
you will not be able to repay, and they will take out that
Yeah.
flat.
Satyaprasad
That's
saying
what-
100
Wrong
years.
decisions. That's
Yeah.
the wrong decisions we take.
That's a
Wrong decisions we take. So we should
okay.
never think of such things.
No. I'm just asking a question like, if someone plans, then what is an average time it will take to buy?
It depends on their
Okay, I'm asking you.
capacity.
I'm asking you if
Okay.
you want
Yes,
to buy.
Yeah, it depends on the capacity of
No. If I am
the wealth
asking
we
you,
have.
if I'm asking you, as per your financial condition now, wherever you are, what do you think? How many years it will take?
If you really want to take, we can take it through a loan, Prabhu.
Okay, how
If
many
we
years you have to pay that
decided.
loan?
Yeah, it will take at least 10 years or 15
Okay,
years.
10 years, 15 years. So the point, what I want to drive is, it takes time to buy something which is of high worth. Okay,
Yes.
so 4 crores, 10 crores, or whatever it may be. So imagine the holy name, through that holy name, you can buy Krishna. Then how many years it will take? And if you can buy Krishna, through the holy name, then how much it is worth to endeavor for unlimited years. So what do you think? Is it worth?
Yes, Prabhu. Most valuable
the
is
worthiest
Yes,
Krishna.
thing,
Prabhuji,
Prabhuji.
most and most and most valuable.
Exactly, right?
Highest worth.
So bhakti has a potency to buy the Supreme Lord. So because of that, we have seen the examples of Yudhishthira Maharaj, Arjuna, and all the devotees. Lord comes to serve them, right? Why? Because the Lord is sold out to those pure devotees. So bhakti can actually purchase the God. So if you want to purchase the car or house, we are ready to struggle for 20 years, 30 years, life after life. अगला जन्म होगा ना तो मैं किसी अमीर घर में पैदा होऊंगा and I'll buy that car, I'll buy that house. So sometimes we have this desire also. Like even if I could not be able to do in this life, next life at least I should buy, and I should born in a very rich family, wealthy family. I should be able to buy. This kind of aspirations we have. So imagine if we want to buy Krishna, then we can have the similar aspiration that no matter whether I can do it in this life or not, I will try for this life. But even if I am not able to do it because of anything, then I will still continue to work hard in the bhakti so that I can reach Krishna. So the glorification of the holy name actually keeps our enthusiasm active. And as long as that is active, we will endeavor, because we know that what we are aiming for is not something small. People write exams, the competitive exams, year after year, year after year, by taking long-term coaching, this coaching, that coaching. Why? Because if they want to do any normal engineering or normal graduation, they can do it immediately. But they wanted to do in a very nice college, in a very nice degree they want to do. That is where they're ready to put effort. So similarly, what we want is not something small. It is very, very big. That is the ultimate thing for a jiva. So for that, we have to endeavor. And only when we know that what we are doing, what we want to buy is very, very big, then only the inspiration to endeavor will come. And as long as we are endeavoring, that inspiration will be active and it will be growing again and again. So when this process doesn't happen, then we will give up the diamond as a piece of glass. They may say like, okay, maybe that is good, but I don't think so that it is so worth. So people who give up bhakti, who don't endeavor properly, are those who could not understand the worth of the bhakti. So Prabhupada says, if you do not have Krishna consciousness in your life, then you are unfortunate. But if you have Krishna consciousness in your life, then you are very, very fortunate. But if you are in Krishna consciousness and you have underestimated Krishna consciousness and left Krishna consciousness, then you are the most unfortunate person. So there are people, who does not endeavor enough and they go away. Why? Because they are not emphasizing every day about the glories of the holy name. So when we hear more and more philosophically, and when we practice more and more, what will happen? We will gradually appreciate the holy name. The same Krishna, the same holy name which we have today, we start appreciating more and more. Just like as we grow up, we start valuing our parents' sacrifices. As we grow up, we will understand that how difficult it is to grow up the children. We see that how our parents have grown up. Initially, we will be only asking what we want. And when they don't give, we will say like, you don't love us. You have not given us enough resources, everything. But as we grow up, then we will understand that, they have done a great sacrifice for us. So we appreciate their efforts. So similarly, what holy name can does for us, by hearing and by practicing it, we will realize. And the more we realize, the more we relish the Krishna consciousness. And that's how we will actually understand that Harer Naam Eva Kevalam. So I'll just recite this verse again so that you can meditate on whatever we have discussed now. Naho dukham mahadukham Dukha dukhataram yataha kachatham vismritam ratna Harer nameva kevalam Harer nameva kevalam. Oh, what a sorrow, what a great sorrow, more painful than any other misery in the world. Mistaking it as a mere piece of glass, the people have forgotten this jewel. They have forgotten the holy name of Sri Hari alone is everything. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Shri Kevalashtakam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.